Hello and welcome to It's Our Time podcast. This is episode 3 with your host, friend, cousin, auntie, or nobody at all. It's all good. All is welcome over here. I'm just really glad to have you here and, being a part of this journey. This podcast, It's Our Time podcast, is dedicated to the Black and Indigenous community to really just talk about topics that are important to us, that bring us joy, that are emotion filled, or at the end of the day, highlight the authenticity of our personhood by our defining and not the world's defining. So, welcome to It's Our Time podcast. And this episode, I just want to say off the bat, happy Black History Month. Not that we need a month to celebrate who we are or to acknowledge the vast impact we've had on the global world and how invaluable our existence is. We don't need one month cannot capsulize how wonderful and multifaceted we are as a people. And plus, I really got to say that the world would not be where it's at in terms of civility and have the ounce of light that it does at this point in time without the sacrifice, without the life, joy, and commitment of the Black and Indigenous community to put life into this earth and into this planet. So Black History Month is our moment, but all of life is our moment, really. I even got to say, looking back when I first came to the U.S. we were living in Burma beforehand, and I'm originally from Sudan, which is in northern Africa. Keep them in your prayers. Is going through a really, really rough time right now. But when I first came to the United States and I heard about the concept of a Black History Month, I felt like, it made me feel really uncomfortable. And the first word that came to my mind before I even understood what it was gaslighting. It felt very gaslighty because when I looked at the surroundings, what was happening in the external world, how Black bodies and Indigenous bodies were being treated at that time and to this day, I was like, how can the same entity, the same nation, try to present a piece of humanity or extend a month or whatever it is, right? When the status quo, when we're looking at our actual climate, it has no remnants of actually celebrating or integrating in a true valuing way of the Black and Indigenous communities and bodies. So I always felt like there was this undertone of insincerity. And beyond that, it's like, how do you take a gift or supposed gift from a nation that has built itself on discrimination, on really horrific and horrendous and inconceivable violence towards Black and Indigenous bodies, and still to this day we observe that happening. It's like, I don't trust this. And weirdly, when I used to watch the TV shows that would be broadcasted during Black History Month, I observed that there was a lot of re-traumatizing, what felt like re-traumatizing of visuals, about lynchings and the sufferings that our ancestors went through. And because their bodies are our bodies, we feel it. We feel it in our present moment. And to me, it felt like a re-traumatization. So that's why this Black History Month and the way that it's presented makes me feel uneasy. And I've always looked away from it, I'm like, no, thank you. I've always celebrated my heritage and I've always wanted to learn about myself through my own community, through people who look like me. And they don't limit my history or telling me my history to only suffering. They give me the expansiveness, the expansive, unlimited view and perspective of who we are as a people. And my ancestors, I keep them close to me. They're with me in everything that I do, and I could not live my life without them constantly reminding me that I have a defining of myself that is not limited to this world's defining of who I am and who I'm supposed to present myself to be. And for that, I am ever grateful. I want to just kind of slightly shift the conversation into how we're expected then, especially as Black women, to live in the world, and how we're meant to occupy spaces and occupy our own bodies and to express ourselves in the way that feels true and authentic to who we are. Um, you know, it makes me just kind of take an inventory, because I'm a woman, a Black woman who is coming into herself after cultural trauma, after racial trauma. Uh, Give me the topic, give me the category, and I'll give you the trauma that I've had in it. And alhamdulillah, I'm blessed to have walked the path of healing with my ancestors and with my higher power and with many beautiful people who have really, really guided me on this path to healing, and still continue, because this is a journey. It's a process. It's not a one and done in the healing path. But one thing that has always been present in it is everybody else's obsession in how I am meant to move and to exist in my body, how I'm meant to occupy spaces, even culturally. There's this almost uneasiness when women are really attuned to who they are, to their identity, and they're attuned to what brings them joy, what they desire out of life. And of course, when you're growing up as a child, you're not going to know exactly what it is that you want your life to be. And that's okay. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have this certainty, this way of moving, it creates a dis-ease within the other energies around you. And I noticed this from a very young age. And what happened culturally is, the eyes and the looks that will be given to you, or the titles that you get, like they are a selfish individual, or they are mean-hearted, mean-spirited, because you choose not to entertain things like gossip, or you choose to, light yourself up with joy and self-love and self-appreciation. And that's not often celebrated culturally. When a woman possesses that, it's not encouraged, especially in young Black women. And it just continues to carry on in other spaces. Now you go from cultural, you go into a racial capacity, and there is the same dis-ease and discomfort. So the dis-ease and discomfort from the external world about how you are meant to exist in this life, this grand old life, this universe with all its expansiveness, its beauty, its magic. And you are expected as a Black woman to suppress your innate connection to this divinity, your innate connection to this spark of life, because, the status quo of the world desires to keep you at a certain space and a certain capacity. And when you move out of those lines, all of a sudden it's like, the red sirens go off. Like, let's usher this being back to where they belong. So how do we, as Black women, break out of that conditioning? Number one, that conditioning and burden, because that is a burden, and it's not our burden to carry, right? We need to really give everybody else back their narratives, their defining, their desires, their wants of our being in this life that we are gifted, and begin to redefine that for ourselves. And I stress this, we do not have to do it alone. This is where community is such an important part of rebuilding our free soul, our free beauty and divinity. And sisterhood has been such an impeccable, irreplaceable tool in my development and healing, and coming to who I am. I mean, my sisterhood with, and shout out to my Momo. I love that woman to the moon. This sisterhood with this beautiful Black woman in her own healing journey has been the mirror I needed and the reflection I needed to see in a woman that is so defining of who she is, that is in so much acceptance of herself, of her past, of her present, and where she is heading. A woman that is full of life, full of conviction, and full of self-defining. We got a lot of undoing to do about these programmings, especially as Black women, about who we're meant to be, how we're meant to move, what we're expected to desire in the world, what we're expected to accept in this world. All of that, we get to dismantle it, and we get to redefine and possess who we are. That is not up for negotiation. It is not anybody's place to tell you who you are and to limit the potential of who you can be. Not your family, not your friends, not society, and no other tool of oppression has more power than the freedom that you have within yourself. It is otherworldly. And when I tell you, you can tap into the realm of your ancestors, they provide you with something that is indestructible. They give you the gift of seeing at a larger capacity what you are capable to do in this world. There is nothing to take light in this world. Everything has a piece of magic in it. The flowers, the grass, the rain, the trees, and you are nothing short of magic. And oh man, I get so passionate. I get so passionate and so excited when I think about Black women redefining their life, redefining and possessing who they are. It is the motherfucking sexiest thing ever. It brings out this light, this ease, this confidence. I had to come and get all, dressed up and cute, to just celebrate life and celebrate myself, and to give myself that moment of, beyond any and everything, I see you and I want you to enjoy life. I don't want you to carry just suffering. I don't want you to just carry being small. I don't want you to carry limitations. I want you to carry your light. I want you to carry your confidence. I want you to carry your imperfections. I want you to carry your creativity. That's what, man, gets me so sentimental, gets me in my feelings. And it's what inspires me to get up and keep trying every day. Keep trying every day. So we are not no joke. We are not a joke. Black women, we are something beautiful and transcendent. And I just want you to take a moment, and if you can, and if it's safe for you, to close your eyes and imagine all parts of you, your little you, your teenage you, your you that was struggling with her insecurities, your you who was traumatized, belittled, shamed, all the parts of you, and then also the parts of you that are creative, that are empowered, that are connected to your ancestors, connected to life. Give them all, line them up, okay, and give them all a ticket, and walk them into this beautiful, magnificent movie theater where they got front row seats to see a glimpse of who you are becoming. Because baby, it's gonna be applause, a round of applause. You are worth it. You are really worth it. And those parts of you are so proud of who you are in this moment, And they are looking forward to who you're going to become. But you are perfect right here, right now. And with that, again, we don't need it, but happy Black History Month to all of my people and my community. And remember, this day and forever, free Sudan, free Palestine, and free the Congo. We are a one people. We are united, and our plight is not one that we get to go alone. We are here for one another. And I love you so much. And thank you so much for tuning in to It's Our Time podcast. Until next time, take care of yourself, love yourself, and love life. I'll see y'all later.